Hey guys, this is Miss Arlequin, and in this video we are going to be learning our next set of vocabulary words from Monster. So please make sure you have your vocabulary sheet in front of you because, as always, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rate our prior knowledge of the new vocabulary words. So just based on looking at the word, not at the definition, how well do you know these words? Wrenched, diminutive, surly, indulgence, vicinity, gullible, and pensive. All right, so we're going to start with our first word, which is to wrench. To wrench means to grab or pull something with a lot of physical force. So let's say I have this teddy bear. If you want it, you have to wrench it out of my hands because I'm not willing to give it up. You might sometimes, when you hear this word, think about the tool, a wrench. That's a hand tool that's used to hold or twist a nut or a pipe joint. So if you've ever seen that tool before, then that's actually a really great way to remember what wrench, the verb, means. Just imagine that you're twisting with a wrench, except instead of using a tool, you're using your hands. If something is heart-wrenching, that's a very popular expression. It makes you feel very sad. If you wrench a part of your body, you strain, pull, or twist it, and that means you've injured yourself in some way. So again, wrench is to twist and pull with a sudden violent motion. I tried to wrench free from the robber's grip, but he was too strong. All right, our next word is diminutive. Diminutive basically means small. So a diminutive person is short and small. So a dwarf or a midget. A diminutive word is a cute version of a word or a name, so you can also use it to describe words. So for example, the word duckling is the diminutive form of the word duck, and Billy is the diminutive form of the name William. It's the cute nickname you would use for William. So again, diminutive means very small. The diminutive actor was tired of always being asked to play a leprechaun. So just remember that diminutive is an adjective, which means to use it properly, you have to pair it up with a noun. You're going to describe someone or something as being diminutive. Like in this sentence, I described the actor as being diminutive. All right, our next word is surly. Surly describes behavior that nobody wants to be around. So you really think about the irritable old guy who lives on your street, and he always seems to be simmering with some sullen, nasty anger. He might even glower at you. Everything he utters, he spits out with a rude snarl. He is the poster boy for surly. So synonyms would be somebody who's rude, somebody who's ill-tempered, someone who is hostile and unfriendly. So the criminal gave the jury a surly glance, rude and unfriendly glance, which did not help his case at all. So here in this picture, which was one of the best I could find to show a trial, you can see that he is actually not surly if you look at his expression. He actually kind of looks sad and melancholy. But this kid right here has a pretty rude and unfriendly glance on his face. All right, our next word is indulgence. And indulgence is doing something that you enjoy, even if it has negative consequences. So buying yourself something that you don't need, whether it's a cookie, a video game, or a diamond necklace, is an indulgence. All right, so when you think about indulgences, you're really thinking about, it's almost like going above and beyond what's necessary. It's not anything you need to survive. It's not anything you need right then and there as an emergency. It's like extra stuff. So you're allowing yourself, you're indulging yourself when you allow yourself to like give in to your needs. Your, not even needs, wrong word. When you allow yourself to give in to your desires. She lived a life of selfish indulgence, buying herself anything her heart desired. She didn't need it, she desired it. It was an indulgence. Extra. A couple of phrases that go with this word. One of them is overindulgence. Overindulgence is when you give in to yourself too much. So you can see this baby is overindulging in food. So overeating might be an overindulgence. Buying 100 pairs of shoes in one day might be an overindulgence. And then self-indulgent is just another way to talk about giving in to yourself. Because you can indulge other people. Like a mother might sometimes indulge their child by giving them extra candy, but being self-indulgent is giving into your own desires. And this form of the word has a pretty negative connotation to it. Okay, our next word is vicinity. If something is in your vicinity, it's in the surrounding area or neighborhood or the nearby region. It's in the neighborhood. If there's a garbage dump in your vicinity, you'll certainly smell it. It's nearby. That's the thing about vicinity. Something that is nearby. He lives in the general vicinity of the school. So it's the general neighborhood, the general area. It's nearby. Some slang words that mean the same thing as vicinity or expressions is when you tell somebody that you're in their neck of the woods. When you're in their neck of the woods, you're in the vicinity, you're near them, or describing something as your turf is the area that's around you. All right, our next word is gullible. Gullible is an adjective that you use to describe anyone who's easily fooled or cheated. Someone especially who's quick to believe something that's not true. So I'm not gullible enough to believe something that outrageous. Or tourists. Sometimes tourists can be very gullible. You go into souvenir shops and they sell overpriced souvenirs to the gullible tourists. If you're gullible, basically the joke is on you because you're easily fooled. It's thought that the word gullible actually comes from the verb gull, which means to swallow. And if you think about it, it kind of actually makes sense. Because if you are gullible, then you could say figuratively you're swallowing the stories that you hear whole. You're just taking everything in, you're swallowing it in. You're not actually maybe looking at it, thinking critically about it. You're just kind of falling for everything. Like here, this is a perfect illustration. How gullible are you? Get your results for only $29.99. Clearly this is a trick, and they're just trying to get your money. Gullible would be somebody who there's a pop-up on the internet, and it says, click here to win an iPad. If you click on that, you're pretty gullible, because most likely it's just going to put a virus on your computer and steal your information. Okay, our next word is pensive. So imagine there is a person staring out the window who looks very sad and lost in thought. She is pensive, the opposite of cheery and carefree, the opposite of blithe. Pensive is quietly sad or thoughtful, engaging in deep thought. So it's all about thinking. You can see President Obama right here. You can definitely tell there are a lot of thoughts going around in his head. He has a pensive look on his face. The child sat by himself looking pensive, looking thoughtful. All right, now people often think about the word pensive, and they think it means somebody's in a bad mood. You might just be thinking about something like really deeply, very hard about something. Just because the person has no expression, or they might even be frowning, it just might mean that they're engrossed in their thoughts. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're sad or melancholy. All right, so now it is time to write our own example sentences for each of the words. Remember that as a bonus always is to use any previous vocabulary words within your sentence. Please don't use them without using the actual word. That wouldn't really be good. And please make sure that you're really paying attention to the part of speech. Use verbs as verbs, adjectives as adjectives, nouns as nouns. And be very careful before you change the spelling of the vocabulary word. If you think that it might be a verb also, or that the word family can be a verb, just make sure you check online to see if that is actually. Not every word can be changed to every single part of speech.